Hello, and in this video I'm going to show you how to convert unstandardized regression coefficients to standardized coefficients or beta weights. Now, we're going to show you how to actually do the manual calculation, but we're going to use some of R's procedures to help us do it. We're doing specifically in reference to R because although it does give us a regression procedure by default, it doesn't allow or have the facility to output standardized coefficients as do SPSS and SAS. So, since it's an easy thing to calculate manually and no real need for an extra package, we're going to show how that can be done in this video. So, if we pop open here we can see we've got the results of a regression predicting theory of mind score, theory of mind performance from a person's age and their mother's mental state understanding of preference for mental state conversation. We see this as a nice simple parsimonious output. We've got our parameter estimates, our standard errors and our significance values, but if we look to an SPSS output of the same data, we see we've got standardized betas. So these can basically be interpreted like a correlation coefficient and are not dependent on the units in which the predictor was measured, so they can be compared kind of a gauge of substantive predictive importance that's independent of the unit of measurement. But how do you get these? Well, like I say, there's no default way to get them in, but we can calculate them, and that's what I'm gonna show you. So, because the beta weight is in units of standard deviations, just like a correlation coefficient, the first thing we need to do is get the standardized or the pooled standard deviation. The pooled standard deviation that we use in this case is the ratio of the standard deviation of the predictor to the standard deviation of the outcome. So I'm going to do this for the age predictor. So we're going to say our pooled SD is equal to standard deviation, and this function will work out the standard deviation of, and I'm going to put in the name of the predictors, so it's equal to the standard deviation of the predictor, which is age divided by the standard deviation of the outcome, which is theory of mind performance. Now that we have that standard deviation, all we need to do is multiply this unstandardized coefficient by that standard deviation. So we're just going to go 6.3181 times the pooled standard deviation that we calculated earlier, and we get 0.944. And if we look in our SPSS output, we get 0.945. So within rounding error, that's standardized beta weight. So that shows you how to calculate standardized beta weights, even though R doesn't give you them by default. That shows how to calculate them from the information that you are presented. Basically, the procedure is to work out the ratio of the standard deviations and then times that by the unstandardized coefficient. So then those beta weights allow you to compare the contribution of each predictor in a standardized way. So with that, thank you for watching this video and I hope you enjoyed it.